Good morning, afternoon, or evening, North Parkers and beyond. Today's weekly word is coming to you from the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 7. Proverbs 29, verse 7. It reads, "The righteous care about justice for the poor, but the wicked have no such concern." I'm going to repeat it. The righteous care about justice for the poor, but the wicked have no such concern. So the comparison, or actually contrast here that's going on, is between the righteous and the wicked, and how they have a concern or lack of concern for justice for the poor. Now, this is being singled out specifically not because the righteous don't care about justice for the wealthy or for the middle class or for anyone else, but because they specifically have a care for the justice for the poor. Because the wicked don't care about those who cannot help them. And so the wealthy would be concerned, the wicked would have concern as to whether or not the wealthy get justice because they can help them, they can benefit them. There's something they can derive from them. But justice for the poor only concerns the righteous. Or, the exception here would of course be the poor. So if you have a wicked poor person, they would care that they get justice, I guess. But the statement here very simply is about justice. Now, this is a word that's come to mean several different things in our context today, but justice primarily has to do with being equal under the law. Equal under the law. Now, this is not about equal outcome. This is not about being able to derive the same percentage of guilty versus innocent pleas for people of different socioeconomic classes. This is not about gerrymandering the process so you get a result that society wants. What this is about is that you don't show favoritism for the wealthy or for the poor. You're not lenient on the poor because they're poor, nor are you lenient upon the rich because they're rich. And conversely, you're not extremely hard on the rich because they're rich, nor extremely hard on the poor because they are poor. What God is concerned about far more than anything else when it comes to justice is that the weights are fair. So, and this has to do with the scales. So it used to be, way back in the day, you would have some weights that were measured out, and they were supposed to be honest weights. Because when you would weigh something out, like if you're pouring gold dust or if you were weighing out blueberries or whatever it is, on one side of the scale, the balance beam, you would put a known weight. And on the other side, you would put whatever it is you were trying to measure. And then when you found that balance, you would be able to look at the known weights and know how much weight you had of the product you're trying to measure. God despises dishonest weights. He despises them. He despises it when somebody puts their finger on the balancing beam and adjusts it for the outcome that they want to have, whatever that outcome may be. He wants honest weights. He wants honest judgment. And the righteous care about the fact that the poor get treated honestly and fairly on the merits of the case, equally under the law. That's what righteous people care about. They're not pandering to any group of people. No group of people. They are simply concerned with the fact that justice is served. When you set about trying to derive some specific outcome other than justice, for whatever noble or ignoble reasons, you pervert justice itself. Let the merits of the case stand on their own. One of the things that our country has done, and not only our country, but one of the things that our country has done to put this into litigation, to put this into law, is that if you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed to you by the court. So even if you can't pay the lawyer, our society will pay the income of a lawyer necessary to represent you, so that even if you are poor, you will have representation in our court of law. Now, I'm not trying to state that the American legal system is a perfect representation of God's zeal for righteousness. But what I am saying is that to pervert the course of justice for any intended purpose, whether that be noble or ignoble, flies in the face of the scriptures, flies in the face of God's view of justice. The king should be held according to the same laws that the peasant is. Law itself is a representation of God Almighty, and all of us fall under the authority of God. And so his law should apply to all of us equally. I hope this helps to clear up some misconceptions. Obviously, whatever we believe that the laws should be can be determined based upon the vote of the people in our country, but ultimately those laws should reflect the will of God himself, who created authority and has meted it out for the good of the people it is to be over. I hope that you are blessed today and this week, and I hope that you are able to be a blessing this day and this week. May God bless you and keep you. May he cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Thank you, and good morning, good afternoon, or good night.